welcome again to this channel, Buki. Okay, so if you've been with us for the past three series that we've been doing, we've done so much about applying or preparing to apply for jobs, applying, and then in the interview. And I've not been doing this all alone by myself. I've got with me on
Hey
my
guys, hello. It's really good to
yeah,
have this series. We have thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. We thoroughly shared so much, and I encourage you guys to go back. If this is the first one you stumbled on, go back to the first, the second, and the third. This is the fourth in the series, right? Okay. So, Bukola, today, today, right? We're taking people through applying for jobs,
mm-hmm.
preparing for interviews, interview itself, and now people have the job has been secured. It's a congratulations,
Answered.
right? So the next thing we're discussing today is what should I be doing, right? As I plan to resume, because that there's that uncertainty around, oh, I'm resuming, new colleagues, new environment, right? What should I be doing to ensure that I adapt, I enjoy, even though the organization is likely, preparing an onboarding program for me. What should I be doing on my part?
Okay, so what you want to be doing, one of the most important things you want to be doing from your part is to really know the company from outside, right?
Mm,
So, I said when you're praying for the interview, go and read about the about
mm,
of that company. Make it also your job once you've gotten your employment letter. Before you start that job, that you go back and read more about the company. Learn about the CEO, the board members, the supervisory people, different testimonials about that company. Go and read their business report.
mm,
Learn about the business strategies. And some companies are even so advanced that before you start, like a month before you start, they already send you a link to access their intranet so that you can already see some of the things going on in the company, right?
mm,
So you can read updates, news, and
mm,
explore all the different platforms. Sometimes you can even, if you need to, if you need to learn some new skills before you start. That is the point because now you've gone that stage of applying. You're not very focused. You have a job and you're starting that job, and maybe there's a particular skill that you need for that job, but you don't really have it to the level that you would desire to be so confident in your job. That
Honest.
that onboarding pre-onboarding period is a time for you that I would say that you should go and upskill that skill. Go on Coursera, go on edX, go on Udemy,
Yeah.
go online and learn. There are a lot of mocks out there that you can learn, mocks platform out there that you can learn from. So go and learn those skills. Another thing you want to do is that, if you make sure that any question you have that is you think is really important, do it. Ask your manager, send emails to your manager, ask about this, clarify all the things you need to clarify. Maybe you need to renegotiate your contract, renegotiate it. Maybe you need to ask for, I don't know, maybe you are a mom and you need some support in terms of childcare. Ask for it, and then you
Absolutely.
ask for it not that in a way of, okay, if you don't give me I won't come. Rather, if they, because sometimes they might tell you, okay, we are not able to provide this now, but instead of going to just ask, you can rather give frame it in such a way that they would be, even if they tell you that we cannot give you a raise for certain reasons,
Yeah.
ask them in such a way that they would be the one to provide you that solution.
Mm,
you know Saying, okay, I have so maybe you are trying to ask for a raise that, okay, and they are saying, okay, they don't have that capacity to give you that raise because it would affect the team band, for example. So you can say, okay, I have a child, and what are your thoughts regarding, for example, regarding childcare? How do you support? Because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about all the money they can give you. It's also about the kind of support you get from your company,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm,
and that is really important. So you want to be aware of the kind of support, the total reward involved, that
yeah.
they can offer you. So make sure you are doing that. So those are the things I believe are really important. And then, for example, if you need to get documents, because sometimes in some companies you have to prepare some documents.
Yeah.
For example, if you're working in the banking industry, a bank doesn't want to employ someone that maybe has some history
Mm.
with fraud or something, because it can impact them in terms of the when you look at the regulatory
Mm.
perspective. So you want to make sure that all your documents are genuine, they are available, and also, for example, for example, if you move to countries,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you have bank accounts, a bank account that is working, because of course, when they have to pay you, they have to pay you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
those are some of the things you want to, you want to prepare for. You want to also read about another important thing is that you want to read again about their values. What are the values of this company? What
Yes.
is the culture like? You want to stay on top of that game.
Yes.
And don't stop talking to people who are working in that company. If you don't have those people,
Mm.
go on Glassdoor or go on LinkedIn.
Mm.
Connect with possible or likely teammates,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. Mm.
Connect with people who are working in that company.
Yeah.
Connect with sometimes with people who have left the company,
Yeah.
right? So connect and just build your network and
Yeah.
see, that way you can get a lot of insight about the company, and you
Mm.
know how. So that is what I think. Some of the things I would say should prepare you when you're onboarding. And then one other thing is that check the news about your new company.
Mm.
So check the news, maybe once in a week or before you start. Check, okay, so what's the new update about my new company?
Yeah.
What are they saying? Just to be in the know before you start.
Mhm.
All right. So that's what I would say for a start. I hope that helps.
Much. Thank you so much, Bukola. Helps a lot. It helps a lot. I mean, one of the things that you said, I mean, two things that I will touch on is prepare whatever skill. Prepare because you know that at the interview you have made some commitments about
Yeah.
a skill you did not have. You have said, well, I will self-teach myself, right?
Yeah.
The time to go back to the job description. Those skills, right? Start to work on them. Start to find out. So because now you're going to the practical section of the job, start to
Mm-hmm.
find out about those skills, what you need to do. You might not be a master before you resume, but it helps that you have started working in that direction. And the other thing that Bukola said was the last thing. Can you remind me?
I said, I should network with people on LinkedIn who
Yeah.
have worked in that company or who are still working in that company, or continue to go on Glassdoor and check new reports about the
Correct.
company, or
Correct.
online.
Yeah, yeah. So absolutely, you should connect with your teammates if you know their names, your bosses,
Yeah.
right? Another thing you want to do is, if you have an opportunity to send a mail ahead of time, send a mail to show proactivity, to show that you're proactive, right? To say, oh, what should I be doing? What should I be prepared for? You know, if that comes on, that's something that is important. And then read the job description again, like I have said. Reading it at preparing for interview is different from reading it at resumption. Okay, so
Yes.
it's important that you read it. Yes, so I remember now what I was going to say. Bukola said, catch up on the news of the organization. Remember
Yeah.
that you need a conversation starter.
Mm-hmm.
Find a conversation starter for yourself. If the
Exactly.
organization is opening up into a new area, if they're starting out a new product, I mean, that's something you just want to say, oh, when you're talking to colleagues, when you're talking to, oh, tell me about that thing tell me about that new development, that innovation. What's it going to be? How's it going to affect us? So that's something. So you need a conversation starter to help you get across to your colleagues. Of course, prepare plan to be nice and friendly, you know, and in planning for your first day, it's important that you sort of prepare is either you take a drive to your office or you have mapped out your Google Drive and see the route so that you're not nervous. Now they're trying to find your way that day. I would actually recommend that you drive yourself or find your way to your organization based on your mode of transportation before the D-Day, especially where it's a physical, right? It's a physical, but where it's virtual, keep in touch. Try to keep in touch with your recruiters while they are, completing the onboarding and the way. Don't just be quiet in the period of preparing to resume. Be in touch, keep talking to them
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, right? Day one, please bring your lunch or your drink or something, so that, because that day um you can't afford to look tired, even though a lot of things might stress you out. You might, I mean, depending on your team, you might be saying hi to everybody, you might be in a lot of meetings. You don't want that day one to have drained you. And so even if you cannot eat from home, maybe get a drink or two, something that helps, gives you sugar and keeps you going, because you need to look your best. You want to be saying hello to everybody. You want to join all the meetings and be active. You're probably going to have to introduce yourself like, multiple times on the same day. So you need your best energy. And that's not the day. I mean, maybe you shouldn't try to fast that day, right? Or try not to, don't try to starve yourself. So eat as much as possible, be comfortable with your dress. If it's a physical setting, maybe you don't want your heels to be too high. If you're a woman, right? um you want to be well fragranced, because you're going to be meeting a lot of people. You're going to be perhaps shaking hands, pre-covid, but
Yeah, but then you
so
just,
all of those things. And when you get back to it, you might need music. That day one might be a day where, wherever you can catch your breath, perhaps in the restroom, or you just want to listen to music to relax, because it's never, meeting everybody. As much as it will try to be friendly and try to be accommodating, it's still knowing that, oh, it's your first day and all could be very. So all of these things are things that help you settle into the
yeah,
job and settle into your day one properly, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much, Bukola. You have helped us so much. I mean, I don't know if there's anything you want to add.
Yes, there are some things I would want to add. So, for example, sometimes on your day one, they would ask you for certain documentation. So, if you had not sent in the documentation pre the day, so you might need actually to, to send in some documentation, to just say, okay, I am who I say I am. These are
Yeah.
my verification. Let me put it that way. So make sure you have those documentation so that at least it's official. The all of those things are cleared. There are no issues about your identity and all of that.
Yeah.
And like another guy said, that day is not necessarily a day maybe that you should fast, right? So if carrying a lunchbox will look, funny, you can have some granola bars in your bag, and a kind of something, a drink in your bag, and because sometimes there might be a canteen, and sometimes it might not necessarily be a canteen, so you don't
Or
want
you might not even know your way around the canteen and all of those things. So it's just important that
you
you
know,
try to sort yourself out.
no, but from my experience, from my experience, I realized for every job I have, for every company I've worked for, maybe I've been lucky. I think I've only worked for big companies in all the places I've been, right? In all the countries I've worked in, I've all big companies, and I cannot really remember any of them not having a canteen. That's interesting. It just occurred to me right now. And if they have canteen, because it's the first day, even if I'm not starting at the branch where I'm supposed to start, someone someone would always come and pick me up to go to the canteen.
All right.
Now, maybe my own case is special,
Yeah.
right?
It might not
Yeah,
always be, and
always
because
way.
of the schedule of the day, right? It's possible that someone overlooks your need to get,
Get that version.
and then
Yeah.
because that's dependent on other people. It's no
Yeah.
longer dependent on you. So you want to plan for you. And then because you have to also think about how people eat. Some people regularly by 10 they are hungry. Do you
Mm-hmm.
It might not be
Yeah.
lunchtime yet in the organization. So if you have your drink, right, you
Mm-hmm.
can just sip something, because your energy level is times three of your regular day. And
Yes.
so before lunchtime, you might actually be already tired and hungry and just want
Yes.
to feel refreshed. Okay,
Yeah.
so that might just be another reason to um have something handy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really apt. That's really apt. Always have something handy in your bag. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good.
So
And
thank you
if you
so
need help,
much.
like on the first day, also people are really ready to, because you are new, right? Like I said, always remember that we are we are all humans, whether they've been there for for 30 years or 20 years. It doesn't matter. All we are all humans. If you say, okay, I'm new here, can you please show me around to? Can you please show me to the to the teapot or to the kitchen
Yeah.
or to the canteen or something, or ask, people will be more than happy to actually show you
Correct.
that. So don't be afraid to ask for help when you need help. People are always there to help you,
Yes.
especially
And
if you
enjoy your new status. Enjoy your
yes.
new status because of course, there are things that will then look embarrassing when you're asking after 3 months. So even
Yeah.
questions on the job, questions around technicality, around how to use a particular software, enjoy asking, right?
Mm,
Because you're not supposed to know them. Don't put the
mm,
weight and burden of knowing them ahead on yourself, right? Because
yeah.
it will then be 6 months into the role when you start to ask that would then look like, oh, don't you already know? Do you see? And
Mhm.
that's why you should utilize the process of resumption to get as much as possible. Okay.
And
So,
one other thing I want to, something just came to my mind now. Maybe one other thing you might want to do, you could already ask your manager if you can be given a buddy, like someone who can, help you. Because sometimes some companies will have that, okay, you have your first day buddy, someone to help you around,
yeah.
not necessarily a mentor for a staff, but so you could already ask, and then if you ask, if they have that system, that person would guide you through that first phase and you won't really feel lost. So it's a good thing to ask. And if the company already have it, like if they have that system of onboarding in their company, you can, just okay, your body, would be this and this person. But if they don't have, you can ask and then your manager could, arrange someone for you. That's also another way.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, thank you so much, Bukola. This was really helpful. This was great. It was a great discussion, and I'm sure you guys would also find it so. I'm sure you'd have enjoyed yourself and thoroughly learned a lot, right? So, any final words from you, Bukola? And then let's just wrap it up in this series. It's been a
Um,
very amazing discussion from the
yeah.
first in the series up till the fourth. And for me, I trust that if you guys pick up all of what we have said and more so engage Bukola on a professional level, to help at every stage. I trust that you will do well in your career. I'm sure that you will land your dream job and start off well. So I wish you the best, Bukola.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Oladaya, for being a part of this series. It's such an honor to have you to help moderate, to also answer some of these questions based on, from the interviewee part of view, which is really awesome. And I think a lot of our viewers out there would find what you've said and what you've mentioned all through the first series really help. Because even for myself, I learned some things from you. Okay, so people actually, I learned some things from you, which is really fabulous and amazing. I must say, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And to the viewers out there, like she said, we this is the fourth series and is the last of this particular series about career development, getting a job until getting started on your first day.
Yeah.
And if you're just seeing this particular part of the series, you have three other part of it to watch from the first one, like how to start applying, preparing for interviews and this. So go back to those particular videos. They're on this channel. Go back to them and experience what we've shared. And if you need something that is more one-on-one basis, do not hesitate. We can work together. Drop me a comment. I will pick you up. I will chat you up, and then we can have a one-on-one coaching about you starting your career, you searching for a job, you preparing for interview. I offer one-on-one coaching for interview preparations. Olada, I can testify to that, and it's been so amazing, guys. Thank you so much. So this is not the last series that we'll be having. There will be more of such series coming up. We would have something also on investment, which is coming up. I'm so excited about it. But thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for having fun with us. Thank you for learning with us.
Yeah.
And one thing I want you to take away is that at the end of the day, we are all humans, right? From that point when you decide to start searching for a job, to that point when you start even growing your career, always have it in mind that we are all human. So don't be afraid. Just do it afraid anyway, because you know you don't want to be accidental about life. You want to be really intentional about life. All right, guys.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much. And
guys. Thank you so much, Bukola.
by the way, before I go, I need to do a final shout out. So Oladaya is actually the lead coach, lead founder everything of virtual big sisters. And virtual big sisters is a community of for with target whereby we target teenagers, and we speak to them, we encourage them, we mentor them. I'm also a mentor with virtual big sisters. Yeah. So, and it's such a wonderful community. So
Yeah.
if you have teenagers, right, and you think they need to belong to this community, not that you think, they have to belong to this community.
Alright.
So
What are they doing?
exactly. I'm going to leave the link of the Instagram link on this description. So go and join that community. Click on it and follow and read about all the mentors that we have brought up on Virtual Big Sisters. And you also can be a mentor if you are above, if you are in your 20s or your 30s, and share your life experience with younger people. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Hey.